It is very cold outside, but luckily Lele is tiny and our room is big. So it does provide enough space to really do what we would have been doing outside in the court, which is heel practice, parking her on the place command, practicing stay as we walk away and go do stuff around the house. Now Lele, as her owner described, has a potty issue where they struggle with potty training in the house. What I tell people is that if you're struggling with potty training, it is a side effect of giving the dog more freedom than they can responsibly handle. And what that looks like is not using structure like crate, place, heeling around the house with you, putting the dog in a downstay, keeping your eye on the dog, allowing the dog to freely roam the house when you're doing something else gives them the opportunity to sneak behind furniture and pee or poop, right? When you can't supervise them, you can put them in the crate, you can put them on place with a tie back because they're not gonna go potty where they're sleeping and laying. They're gonna sneak off somewhere to do it behind a couch, right? So if we take away the opportunity and take away that free roam, they're not gonna do it, okay? So we pair that with a strict feeding schedule and a strict potty schedule, okay? And then we see success. She hasn't had a potty accident in the whole time she's been here. So we know it works. Right now, we're practicing the place command while Josh sweeps around the house. It's the perfect application of, hey, human needs to do something, let's put the dog on place. Instead of, like I said, letting her wander around, sneak into our room and potty. So this is her place to relax when we're doing other things. As you can see, she's able to be included. It's like a middle ground between crate and freely roaming, right? We have our personal dog in the crate. That's also an option. When you really can't keep an eye on your dog, maybe you have to take a shower, you need to run out to the mailbox, you need to run to the store for 15 minutes, definitely put her in the crate. They learn to love the crate, make it a safe space, make it a comfortable space. But when you are home and can keep an eye on her, you can put her on place. And that is, she loves it. Nice comfy bed. Nice job.
I'll finish this up and then we'll move on to doing something else with her.
Yeah, so she's passing all of our tests. She's able to relax and stay on the bed in a down and just calmly watch us. I love days like this when it's place training day for the dogs because we get a lot of cleaning done. So some other things we're going to demonstrate with her and how to live with her harmoniously, other than the place command, is how to move her around the house in a calm and controlled way. So Josh is going to use the recall to a heel. It's just a follow around the house. So if you need to move her from one area of the house to the other, you'll put her in a heel. So you're going to tap the tone button on the e-collar, say heel, start walking, and she'll follow at your left leg. This looks easy, but it's not. We trained this, okay? Another thing you can do is put her in a stay, walk away. If she follows you, you would say NO and click the stim. Here, she's using the down stay that we've taught her. This is the coping skill because stay is so hard for her. It's easy for her if she lays down. That's why she's choosing to do that on her own. Now, because we've told her stay, that means if she does not stay, we have to give her a correction. And then she'll put herself back in that down. If she does stay, she's going to get good girl and thumbs up. And every now and then when we walk by, we'll give her a little pat on the head. But this is just another way to use structure around the house instead of letting her, like I said, freely roam everywhere. The downstay is more portable than the place command. You can use it anywhere. Grooming waiting room, vet waiting room, back seat of your car, your back deck. It does not have the defined boundary that the place command does. It's just on the ground, so that does mean it's portable. It can be used anywhere, but it is a little bit more difficult because they don't have the bed to lay on. So just keep that in mind. Place command is for longer periods of time, and the downstay is meant for shorter periods of time, although she does have the capability to lay here as long as we ask. Now notice we're freely moving around, right? And she stays until she gets that beep. And now we've got her back into the heel. We can also practice thresholds. Notice no leash. We open the door wide. She, because of our training, assumes she can't just run out. And that's one of the things that we worked really hard on. She always waits for permission. Look at that. Amazing. That stay is so powerful. Good. And then when she gets the release, she can go out. Now, another cool thing is that she's off leash trained now. So we're out with her we don't even have a short leash on.
Very nice. This is just for an example. I don't think she's got to go
She's
potty.
doing amazing. It's really cold out. That's why we chose to have her working inside today.
Okay, heel.
Coming back in, we go back into a heel. So notice everything is structured. We're never just like leaving her free to her own devices because I don't want to clean up pee and poop around my house.
Good.
You know, the dogs are doing one of two things when they're not doing something with you, and that's either sleeping or probably doing something you don't like. She's getting into something, she's peeing and pooping, she's barking, she's guarding something. She was known to guard high value resources.
While she's getting into that, if she has interest in it, she'll start chewing on it, and then I'll see how she feels about me going around it. You were talking about the potty thing, and you covered it really good. One of the things I'd like to add to that is that I think working with people, we notice that what they do is they wait for the dog to tell them when they have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, they put a bell on the door.
Things like that, right? So that usually is that usually falls apart. So what you want to do is you just, and we still do this with all of our adult dogs, do it with puppies, we do it with every dog, is we do enough potty breaks throughout the day, every few hours,
Yeah.
that
They're taken care of.
we let them know, we know they don't have to go. So, but I don't want the dog to be telling me when to get up and go
Right.
do anything.
Gives them too much responsibility. It puts too much on them.
Right, it does. And it also gives them the false idea that they can make a noise and make you move.
Yes,
You know,
they've
they have
trained
control.
you. They've
It's a
trained you.
leadership follower dynamic. In the real world, like in a real pack, a dog pack, if she's below a dog and she's not going to be able to influence that dog to do something with a noise without getting corrected. So I don't want to give her that false sense of being able to control me either if I can help it. Now, there are times where it's like, you know, that here comes an emergency, the dog's got to go to the bathroom, you can tell. That's not
She
what
really
I'm
likes
talking about.
this. Yeah.
I'm talking about the everyday. So but while she's into that, I'm just going to see how she feels about this.
Let's pretend
I
this
see
is
it- I
something
see
she
it right
shouldn't
there.
have. Look, she's growling. We're correcting it. And then we can take it.
Good girl.
So that would normally be a situation where she would bite your hand.
You can add a command to that too.
We can say out.
Right. Out.
If she does not out, we
She's
click
never
the
done this
remote.
before. Good.
And then you could recall her away from the object
And-
before you take it.
Right. I feel my relationship's fine enough to come in and do this, right? Good girl. But you could out and then recall her away like this.
Yeah, and if you were to reach your hand down before training and she had that, which she really wants, she would bite your hand.
So, I mean, this goes back to like when you're raising a puppy white, and I'm sure you've heard of this. Anybody who owns a dog likely has heard this. You make them wait for the food. Right? You put the food down, they wait until you say, okay, right? And then you practice coming in and taking the food. All this stuff that's like, yeah, we've heard it a million times. That's because we don't want her to think in the hierarchy that she's controlling who gets to have the food. If we take that and we say, here, you can have it, now I need it back, and we deal with any of the nonsense involved, like growling or biting or something like that, then we've established ourselves in the position of the leader, right, and her follower. So it's just one more conversation to have to make sure that dynamic's right. In our relationship, if she's above us in her head, that's where bites, not
She feels
listening.
entitled to bite.
She's gonna do whatever she wants to do. If we flip it and we are leader and she's follower, she's not gonna bite us. She's gonna allow us to have first access to resources. She's gonna listen when we tell her stuff. But that is a maintained relationship. That hierarchy is maintained. If you are doing well for a week or two and you're a leader, but then you slip, and slipping means you're not correcting when you need to. Like she's not listening, but you say, I'm not gonna correct her. Or she does something wrong, I'm not gonna correct her. In her brain, she started to say, I'm up here.
Yep.
This is my position now.
I've taken
so
over.
now I'm going to start correcting you, and I'm going to start doing what I want to do, not listening to you biting, growling. So you're constantly maintaining that hierarchy, right? Don't make any mistakes. She's cute. She's a biting dog. She just is. She snaps at you when you try to put on, or she used to at least, when you try to put on the sweater. That's not just, I don't like the sweater. She's young. Wait till she gets older and she doesn't want to get picked up. Nap. right? Taking food away. Basically, it's not I'm aggressive around food. It's I'm aggressive when I want to correct you for doing something I don't want you to. And right now, it's touching the food or putting my sweater on. It's just the relationship. So when I first came over to take this from
She
her,
growled.
she growled at me. I corrected her. Now, no problem. Because that's the dog world. Now, look, I can do this. Boom, I can. She's not touching it. She's assuming I have first access. I can tell her she can have it. She can have it. If I come back in and say out and I take it away, she gives it to me. Let's do the safe version, right? Good girl. The safe, she's not even touching it because I said out. If she was to eat it, I could say out. She would spit it out of her mouth. If she didn't, I'd correct her. She'd spit it out of her mouth. And then if you don't feel comfortable taking it, because she's going to give you a shot, you just step back here and you recall. Okay, so you come. And that leaves the valuable behind. Good girl. Now she's away from it.
Put her in a stay.
Stay. Have her stay.
And
back
go get the
there.
object.
You come over. You grab whatever it is. And then break. Good girl.
Now, you don't want to get in the habit of doing that just for fun.
No, this is not.
Don't give her something and then try to take it away.
No.
Do it if she's got something she shouldn't have, which how would that happen if she's always in structure? She can't get to it. Or if she decides to take a treat and guard it for fun.
Yes, I love that point. I love that point because, yes, we just did that. I have not done that with her up to this point. That was the first and only time I did that just to make sure we could do that. But you're going to break trust if you start giving her stuff and then taking it
Trying to take it
because
away.
you can.
Yeah.
We don't do that, right? Only if we need to, right? Because we are the leader and we're able to be firm when we need to be and it works, but we're also fair. Right, so we're not going to misuse that. Good girl. So she can actually have this. Good girl. There you go. Good girl. And I'm not going to bother her with it. Right? But that's how you would do it. That's how you do it. Good girl. Good girl.
She's really watching you.
She is. She's not going to eat that now.
She got most of it.
Good girl. Okay then. You go, baby.
Wow.
All right. So how old is she?
3 or 4?
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Oh, she's pretty old. So that thing, that little like ritual of being able to claim the food, that starts like when they come home.
Yeah.
Like 8, 12 weeks, 3 months, 4 months. You're doing it puppy. If we miss it, then we have adult dogs that are nabbing people over resources.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a little puppy trying to, give me some stuff, deal with it then, than waiting for the dog to be older. Now, a lot of people do this with dogs, and they're not this small. And now you got a big Rottweiler here doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Can't take your hand off.
And they're same brain, way bigger consequences. She's giving me a nip, I'm going to say, ouch. He gives me a nip, it's going to take,
ER.
my whole hand's going to come off, right? So, I mean,
You're going to have a hook.
it's going to mess up my day for sure. So, okay, honey, break.
Good girl.